center. Push it a little bit. Yeah. I'm distant. Good evening. I'm distant from the camera because between myself and the camera is a little space heater, since we're in an unheated space tonight. So I hope you're all warm and cozy and have a comfortable seat. And last week we talked about the astrological activity that has been transpiring, and that is and that is expected to be accompanied by all kinds of changes on our planet and among ourselves. And yeah, thank you. So the prediction is that we're going to be facing a lot of change. And while it promises to be liberating and transformative, it also is likely to be somewhat disturbing and disorienting. So that's where the meditation comes in, you know. And I always like to remind everyone that the beginning of this series, which started back in March, I guess, somewhere there, was health and serenity. So we want to be available for transformation and change, but we are most available when we embrace that change in a serene and sort of grounded and fearless way. So that's the context for our meditation tonight. That we want to be establishing ourselves in serenity and in our inner groundedness as we move into the new year and as we move into this new 20-year period of Saturn-Jupiter conjunction in a air sign, which is supposedly leads to lots of chaotic change, but ultimately, I think, positive change. So anyway, as we keep that in mind tonight, as we begin our meditation. So if you want to close your eyes, get comfortable, close your eyes. Make sure your posture is as relaxed and as aligned as possible. So once you're situated, just check in with through your body to see if there are areas that are tense or tight that you can relax. That is to say, if you are holding tension anywhere in your body, you don't need to do that. You can release that. Your face, check out the muscles of the face. If they're tense or tight in those muscles, just let that go. You don't need to do that now. Your shoulders, if you're holding up the world, you can let that go for a little while. You'll probably still be there afterwards. Your torso, your chest, just allow that to relax. Allowing your breath to move more freely. And then all the muscles around the hips and the butt and the thighs and the pelvis. It's not needed right now. You can relax that. Let it go. Give it up. Then your legs and feet. Arms and hands. Great. Now turning your attention to the breath. Bringing the breathing process fully into your awareness. We are hardwired so that if we don't pay attention to the breath, it still goes on. But the yogi and the tantrika breathe consciously. So let your awareness surround the breath. Noticing the rate, the rhythm, noticing which parts of your body expand when you inhale. Noticing which parts of your body don't expand when you inhale. Noticing the intersections between inhalation and exhalation. Noticing whether there's a pause there or whether there's a continuity as you shift from one to the other. Noticing what happens in your spine, along your spine, as you inhale. Noticing what happens along your spine as you exhale. Notice the subtle waves of vitality moving out into your body as you inhale. As the oxygen reaches your cells and they are enlivened. Allow your breath to inspire you on inspiration. And allow yourself to enjoy that. Feel the joy of being alive. Joie de vivre. notice that a lot is going on with your breath and the interaction of your breath and your body. And that it's all delicious and delightful. Let your breath be a celebration of aliveness. Let your breath be a place that you can come home to when the cares of the world become overwhelming. Allow yourself to be breathed by the universe. My teacher used to say we all draw from the same pool of prana, subtle energy. So indeed, we are all functionally all one. So let your breath be a place of coming home to unity and connection and immersion in the pool of prana that undergirds the world we live in. If you wish, you can enhance your breath with the sound, mantra, such as so on inhalation, hum on exhalation. Especially if your attention wanders, bring it back to the soul and the hum and all the multiplicity of sensations that accompany them. Let those sensations fill your awareness. So there's no room for chatter and worry and monkey mind. There's only the delight of the breath. Or as the Swara yogis say, the wave of beauty, the wave of bliss. Swara means wave, a wave that is moving through you all the time. Connecting you to oneness, where there is that connection to oneness, there is no fear, there is no agony over loss of this or that or the other things we're attached to in the world. Just let it go. When transformation occurs, you have to ask yourself, what do I have to give up to move into this new form, this transformed form, this transformation? And don't just give it up, throw it away. Maybe it's an image of what you wanted the future to be. That is becoming obsolete. Let it go. Just fall back into the breath, relax, and let it go. And celebrate its release. Celebrate the freedom of being relieved of that idea that things should be a certain way. Allow yourself to enjoy the surprise of new directions that things take and new forms that things take and new forms that you take. Don't cling to the past. Don't cling to your ideas of the future. Relax and enjoy the ride. Perhaps the way you expected things to turn out would be okay, but maybe something entirely different is happening that is probably better. Stepping into the new with curiosity and delight, letting go the old and freeing yourself. How to enjoy life. Just finding that place inside where you don't need to cling. Finding that place of liberation, freedom, spontaneity, and fearlessness. Fear is a great waste of life. Curiosity is a great device. I wonder what will happen next. Stepping into the unknown with the delight of discovery. Riding on the breath. So if your mind wanders into those more familiar territories of worry and fear and stress, just bring it back. Bring it back to the breath. Bring it back to the soham. Bring it back to the curiosity. Bring it back to openness and freedom. Bring it back to the exhilaration of life unfettered by attachments and fear. Bring it back. When it wanders again, bring it back. Soon it will learn to live there. Soon it will learn to take joy in being in that space of openness and discovery and riding the breath and the sounds. But for a while, you have to watch it. When it wanders, gently bring it back. This is the technique of meditation. And if you do it with some regularity, it begins to spill over into the times when you're not meditating. And when you drift over into fear and stress, your mind just brings you back to the sound of the mantra, to the breath, to the light of discovery, to freedom. So, what a wonderful experience being on planet Earth in a human body. Wow. Let's not miss a moment of the delight, a moment of the magic of being human. So bringing our attention toward the heart center, just letting your attention float over to or down to the heart. Coming to rest at the heart center. Enjoying that experience. Connection with others. Compassion. Compassion for those who wandered off into worry and fear and stress. Compassion for yourself if you're one of those. And gentle, heartfelt forgiveness. So from the heart center, begin to extend your awareness out towards your right side, left side, up towards your head, down towards your feet. Bringing back into awareness the surface of your body, your surroundings, your magical connection with other people on the screen. And gradually you can begin to move your fingers a little bit, your toes a little bit, your head. And when you're ready, you can bring your palms to cover your eyes. And then finally open your eyes and keep your gaze fixed on your palms as they come down to your lap. And then take a little time to attend to your body, which has been really still and now needs a little movement and massage and whatever it needs. Ah. So, so taking a little time to emerge from the meditation, and then if you have something to share about your experience, or if you have some question about the process or about meditation or Tantra or yoga or breath or whatever, You can just unmute yourself, say your name, and speak up.
Well, this is Liz. Hi.
Hi, Liz.
Um, I'll just say, because it was so lovely to hear, I'm not going to say it as beautifully as you did, or maybe rather as Swami Rama said it. But when you said something about that we all draw breath from the same pool of prana. I
Mm.
don't think you said pool, but it was just so lovely and connective, particularly and especially now, under these unusual circumstances. But there's just such a level of connectivity, particularly through meditation, that just felt just exquisite. So I was just happy to hear it.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think we can't overemphasize the exquisiteness and the delight. And this is the process of meditation, is really getting into that space where you um, begin to have that experience of, well, this is delicious. This is just such a delight. This is so connecting. This is so many things that I need happening. If I just let go of the world for a little bit and go inside and make those connections, then it's all there waiting for me. And wow, why not? Except that we get so busy, we never stop to do that. And so um, meditation is kind of a process of remembering, being reconnecting, like we're a member of a body. We remember, join the pieces back together, but we forget and get busy and distracted in the world. And so it's such a valuable thing to just stop, close your eyes, go inside, and reconnect. And that takes a little practice, because we have practiced stress and distraction for years, and we're really good at that. And that's sort of automatic, but it takes a little bit of practice of substituting something different, the inner process and the connection. But that will happen, and then the quality of your life changes, and it's it's such a joy. Um, so this is just a promo, but what can I do except try to convince you that yeah, this is something you really want to do regularly, um, and the more you do, the more you'll like it, and the more valuable it will be for you. So thank you, Liz, for that comment, because it is beautiful and it is delightful, and it's just, well, what was I thinking before that I never noticed that? I mean, how do we go from day to day and stay busy and then just don't notice that there's this amazing connection happening? Um, so great.
Hi, it's Andrew.
Yes, Andrew.
Yes, I wanted to share a little about how my week was. Was quite transformative and chaotic, but in a good way. And from the satsang, there was a lot of points that I recall and wrote them down. But mostly, I just want to clarify something. Somewhere in the satsang was somebody talked about the mala and what happened to it for them. And I've never had a mala, but many, many years ago, I bought something called a jappa ring, which I found very useful over the years, but I had put it away and not seen it for probably 15, 20 years. In any case, when you discussed jappa and ajappa, I thought about it and I went to search for it, and I found a treasure trove of all these things I had accumulated over the years from meditation practices. I even found a bottle of walnut drops, which we talked about extensively, and it's got to be 20 years old, but I hear they don't expire. I have a 3/4 of a bottle of that. I said, great. And japa, and I found this ring that I had used for a long time in the beginnings. You said something about japa and ajappa, and I don't quite understand that distinction. You said ajappa was no japa. I don't quite understand that.
Okay, well, let me explain. Well, japa is the repetition of the mantra. So you sit down and you say it. You intentionally hear the sounds. You imagine the sounds, or in some cases, people do it out loud. But we consider that it's best to do it inside, quietly, not speaking it. And after you do that for a certain length of time, then you start hearing it internally. So you aren't really doing it, but japa is happening. So the mantra is happening, but you're not deliberately practicing it. The deliberate practice is called japa. But when it just starts, you put it in, it starts coming back out, and that's ajappa japa. You're not really doing japa, but japa's happening. So that's why they call it that. But it's like, you hear a song over and over, and then the song is gone, but then you start hearing it in your head. So that's how we take advantage of the way our brains work to install. It's like putting in software or downloading something, and then you turn on your computer, and then it comes out. So if we download the mantra over a period of time, then it will just appear in our awareness and guide us and help us center ourselves. And I mean, after years of using mantras, I know if I get in a stressful situation, I start hearing the mantra. I think you need me now, and I say, yeah, I do. Thank you for showing up. But it will. Does that help?
It does indeed. It clarifies for me. Because I know it's in my memory banks, the mantra I have, but that was a good clarification. Thank you very much.
Great. You're welcome, Andrew. This is a feature of the way the human being is hardwired. That the teachers, the sages, have taken advantage of, and anyone can do that. If you practice the mantra for a while, it just becomes a part of your inner space, and it's very helpful. Swami Ravi said once, when you die, everything else goes. If your only friend is the mantra, which will show up. And there you're going, but the mantra's with you, and you kind of hang on to that. That can take you across the river, so to speak. So it's a useful tool. It's a useful practice. It's a valuable practice. And people think, well, you know, that's ridiculous. You sit there and say the same thing over and over. Are you crazy? Well, no, there's a reason. There's a very good reason for it, and it's a great value.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Anybody else have comments, questions, sharing? It's always great to do that. No? Going. Gone. Okay. We will end this little session. I'll let Daryl talk to you a little bit about upcoming events and things.
Thank you for being here tonight. Our last meditation of the year.
But if they come through with another year, we're going to do some then too.
So, yeah, we thank you so much for this this practice and attending and supporting and showing up every Sunday night and adding to the circle and bringing your awarenesses and your questions and your comments. All of that has added to this experience and made it very rich. And we appreciate you showing up, and we appreciate your support in many ways, in financially and energetically, and then we also want to thank Arabella for recording this and being here every week to host us and make sure we have an avenue to offer this to you all. And then we want to thank Linda Bark for hosting us so that we can not be frozen occasionally. And then we want to thank Swami Ravi for leading us and guiding us and teaching us. And we want to thank his teacher, Swami Rama, and his teacher and his teacher and all the teachers before him that have lived this practice, these practices, and have carried them forward for us to be doing this in this moment. And so, yeah. So, wishing you all a safe and wonderful closing of this experiential, chaotic, lovely year, full of all of those things. And we're excited to see you next week. Again, I don't know what it's going to be. You'll see in the announcement what the Sunday night will be. But be well, and let's unmute and say goodnight and say your thank yous.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Swami Ravi.
Be well. Be safe.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New
In
Year.
love,
Happy
Swami.
New Year.
In
Happy
love.
New Year.
Happy New Queer.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Yeah.
Night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Good night.
Night.